Kuli kuli. Akomolole. How are you doing? I top kuli kuli. Okay, don't wait soon. Kuli. Kuli. Kuli kuli. With some Coke Zero. You know, kuli kuli is kulai, kulai. God created Coke Zero on a very special day. I had a very lovely session with you guys earlier on today. I'm gonna hear they eat snail with their hair. Coke Zero is not sugar free. It is 100% sugar free. Zero sugar. Coke Zero. Zero mean Diet Coke might not be sugar free. Pepsi Light might not be sugar free. But Coke Zero is 100% sugar free. Zero sugar. That's what makes it better than regular Coke. It's still a carbonated drink, yeah. So it's not healthy. But if you are diabetic and you have diabetes in your family, it's better than pure orange juice. What's the sweetener in Coke Zero? It's aspartame. Wait till you Shankuti. Soda water is okay. Coke Zero is okay. I did my personal research. Somebody says saccharin is worse than sugar. Don't listen to that nonsense that they are propagating up and down. There's nothing worse than sugar. Nothing, absolutely nothing worse than sugar. How everyone will get sugar? Water has a very horrible taste. I drink a lot of water. Not a lot. I drink some water. But I struggle with it. One day they will say water is dangerous to our health. Water with lime and ginger. Baba, drink Coke Zero. You nothing will do you. You'll be alright. See it with ice. Coke Zero has zero sugar. You want to tell who that God is real? Seun Kuti or Daddy Freeze? Me, I believe in God. I just believe that your pastors are yahoos. So, this not to be tempting me. Let me put it in the fridge. If not, I'll finish everything. Look, I'm gonna say none. They're all yahoo. That one that I say except is still follow. They're all the same. They don't know Bible. They preach a lot of nonsense. One of the best things I did for my children was take them out of church. You see, there was a time in my life when I first started getting the revelations. And I was sitting down with a friend of mine who also was getting these revelations that, well, this church system is just a Yahoo. And we were going back and forth. And then I said, I'm worried about taking my kids. He said, no, don't worry, take your kids to school. When they grow up, they'll be able to find the light. I thought about it. I know people that have been lost in this church system and they never could pull out. They never could pull out. Now, so one day I just say, me and my wife just say, you know what? Shebi, I know this Bible, Abi. I will teach them at home. There's nothing you want to learn in. See, the messages your pastors are preaching today are those ones that are seeing the light. We preached them 7 years ago. I was still discussing this with Ada earlier on today, just before I came live. The messages some of your pastors that are beginning to see the light are preaching today. God bless you, Tunde T. Dot. We were preaching it 7 years ago and they were stoning us. Then they throw us stone 7 years ago for preaching the messages we are preaching today. So anyway, welcome to tonight's live. Tunde T. Dot's my brother from way back. We also went to the same secondary school and he's a part of Style Plus. I don't know if you remember Style Plus. Yeah, that's the Tunde of Style Plus. One day I'll bring him live, but he's always shy. He doesn't like talking much. We went to the same secondary school. I think he was 3 or 4 years my junior. I don't remember. Remember Style Plus? I don't know if he went to Futal, but I know he went to ISI. Was 2 years my junior. 2 years my junior, made him my sister's set. Tunde, did you go to Futa? Well, you can't hide in this life. Oh. One day we'll bring him to talk about Style Plus. Style Plus was so big that year. Hey. Hey. I'm going to say Futa Jalon. Haha. But if you know that thing where you yarn, no yarn I'm like that again. ...2003, 2004. 2003 was the year of Style Plus. Absolutely. Ah, man, it was a big year. Which Yetunde are you looking for? My younger sister or Yetunde Adeagbo? Tunde, which Yetunde are you looking for? My sister or Style Plus Yetunde we una dey find? You dey find Yetunde Adeagbo? That means you are 1 year my junior. Are you serious? I still spoke to her 2 weeks ago. She's in London. Send me a DM, I'll send you her account. You not go believe her. Are you not tell me this inside DM? Yes, now. Anyway, I guess Tunde and I hook up in the DM, and Yetunde was our classmate, by junior, but I think if she was his senior, maybe 1 year, but because they were all in Futa, so they know. She was a year, oh yeah, so that means you were Lola. You were Lola, my sister's set, Abby. You were Dr. John J's set. Dr. John J usually hangs around here. He's busy today, probably. Call my name, yeah. Oh yeah, reunion tour loading. Yes, so if you can get them to come back together, it will be mad. Anyway, let me not waste too much time because I don't have too much time this night. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So, setting boundaries for parents. That's the topic I want us to talk about today. I'm going to talk for about five minutes, and then I will bring you guys to share your thoughts. You see, when I speak of parents, I speak in two ways because I have a 22-year-old daughter. I have one graduate, two kids in uni, one in 300, one in 200, and baby Freeze, who is in primary school. So when I speak of parents, I not only speak of my parents, because me too, I don't turn parent of 22-year-old. And if there's anything at all that I learned is you have to know how to set boundaries for your parents. And when your children set boundaries for you, you have to understand that they have their own lives and they're not living an extension of yours. This is one of the hardest things for parents. Many parents do not understand that their children are not living an extension of their lives. Rather, their children have their own lives. Now, mothers and daughters, it is good to be present in your daughter's life. Oh, me and my mom are cool. Oh, me and my daughter are cool. We're best friends. The day your daughter has a husband and the husband is not comfortable with your best friendship, problem go deal. The day your husband or boyfriend is not happy with the best friendship between mother and daughter, and I'll tell you why. Because mothers tend to influence their daughters, And when you are in a man's house, he doesn't want anybody to influence. He wants you to have your own thoughts. A bad man would want you not to have your own ideas and thoughts, but he wants them to be yours. He doesn't want you to be teleguided. The worst thing you can deal with is a woman that you and her have agreed, and then she goes to meet her mother, and her mother whines her, or her father whines her, and then you're going to be, it's like you and your mother-in-law are going to be struggling for who's controlling the home. It is it is a very tough, me from small, I'm the worst person to say this, because me from like 1920, now I don't, they warn my parents, they come say, hey, not cross this line. So I grew up without much parental influence in my life. Nothing where I do wake my parents support. None of their dreams, zero. Now waiting I want to now they do. And sometimes when I know say they go wahala me, I go do am first before I tell them. So I'm not asking for their permission. I'm informing them that I have just done this. But you see, it's easier for me as a man than as a woman. And there's one thing I thank God for in my mother. I don't think I've seen my mother for 4 days straight. My mother has 4 days to spend with you. Freak Chuk said, Daddy Freeze, what are you even saying? Oga, send money. Do I look like your father? You olori buruku alaida kini olorun radarada. O sheyin bi oyin popo. I should send you money for the work that you work that I've not paid you for, Abi. How do you decide to be unfortunate early morning on a Friday when your mates are beginning to set their lives up for TGIF, and you woke up and you have decided to fẹ́ sórí burúkú láàárọ̀ Friday táwọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ ti ń dáwó club, I should send you money. Ṣé wọ́n ṣépè fún ẹ ni? Ṣé o forí lagi ni? Fem, today is TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. How do you decide to be unfortunate on a Friday? Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So, a lot of people struggle with setting boundaries for their parents, and I'm not blaming you. It's not easy, especially those of you whose parents control their lives throughout childhood. Some of you lived in those kind of houses that anything when a parent talk now law. Anything when a parent talk now law. And then all of a sudden you're on your own now, and they are still influencing you, and they are still giving you those laws. It's very, very hard. And guess who suffers? Your spouse. Because your spouse now has to live in the shadow of your parents. Your spouse cannot trust you to make a decision. And this your spouse can be your wife or your husband. They can't trust you to make a decision. They cannot trust you that, my husband says we are going to Canada. Because me and you can decide that we're going to Canada, and you go and talk to your mom, and then your mom will say, no, Canada is far. Why do you really want to go to Canada? No, 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 no. Stay back in Nigeria. And all of a sudden, you know what, I'm not good. And you know that there's an external influence. And there are some mothers that love their sons so much that it's always a tug of war with their daughters-in-law. Subtle tug of war with their daughters-in-law. I tell people the truth. Let your moms work till they are 80. One of the reasons why I'm enjoying my mother so much is because she's working. As I'm talking to you now, my mother is in the UK receiving an award on behalf of her university. She came to my house, spent a day. I've seen my mother more this year. There was a time I did not see my mother for 3 years. And me and her in the same Nigeria. We did see for UK. My mother almost missed my own wedding because she had something to do in Germany. So when your parents retire, they become jobless. I saw it with my mother, my grandmother. The moment she sat down in my house like this, say she'll retire. My father said, he doesn't want her to stress herself. He wants her to sit down and retire. Now where problem starts be that. Waiting not concern her, now she will begin put mouth inside. So to me and grandma, they always quarrel. Waiting not concern them, and they tell her instead, they say, grandma, this one not concern you. Waiting, why they put mouth inside this matter? When they are busy, keep your parents busy. When they are busy, they have less time to start noticing what does not need noticing. I don't know if I'm connecting with you guys. Once your parents get to 60 and they go and retire, no problem. Now, there are always exceptions to the rule. There are some parents that don't know how to put their mouth inside other people's problem, including their children's own. If you don't worry about your parents, just pray that your spouse's parents are like that. They know they put mouth for your matter. You are blessed. When you carry your matter to meet them, they will give you advice. But if you not carry your matter to meet them, they will move on. Now, parents, once your children don't reach 35, once your children don't reach 25, 30, expect that they will inform you of their decisions, not consult you. Unless it is your money. You see, I tell people this all the time. Anybody where they gary you, like they give you gary, they feed you, go control you. If my daughter comes to meet me at 35 and I'm sending her money, any decision she wants to take, I will be part of it because I did give you money. Financial freedom gives you freedom in other aspects of your life. But when children are not financially free for one reason or the other, parents still have because I'm giving you my money, so I want to know what you're doing with it. Same thing with my parents. If my father cannot just call me and say, send me 100K. No, I'm going to ask what you need it for. What are you going to do with it? And if it's not convincing, I'm sorry, I'm not sending it. I'm so sorry, I'm not sending it. If I'm convinced that, oh, this is really a need and it fits into my budget for the month, I will send it. But if I don't understand what you want to do with it, Baba, I'm sorry. That's me. That's how I believe. I don't believe my parents, nobody, luckily for me, I started working at 19, and apart from my mom, nobody contributed to where I've gotten to. So nobody has any, sometimes when people raise you and then anything like they'll just yank that thread and say, I need this. Nobody. Someone say 100K, not too much as monthly upkeep. My problem with monthly upkeep is it becomes an entitlement. My take. I don't have anybody that I give monthly upkeep except my children. My children that are in uni, I have to give them feeding money and monthly upkeep, rent, all those things that they need, hostel. But I don't have, because I always think of something. I'm making money today. What if for the next 6 months I'm not making as much money, or something happens? I'm still going to be entitled. If I'm not gonna send you that money, I can't be like bad picking. I send you money when I feel I should send you money, and sometimes I might not send you money for 2 months just so that you know that there's no entitlement. I try to break that mental idea of entitlement. Then if you give your parents money, God will bless you. Babala nonsense. The Canadians that are not giving their parents money, is God not blessing them more than you? All those ancient nonsense that they used to wind people's brain is, take care of your parents is good. The Bible says, honor your father and your mother. In this part of the world, honor is money. Honor them by acknowledging their position as your parents. Is not money. If you don't give your parents money, nothing will happen to you, especially when your parents are greedy and demanding and ungrateful and entitled. That entitlement, that last one, are you the creator? Because if you know they send steady, they will not believe that you owe them. Now, sentiments, nothing good. Those people who don't know they take care of their parents, nothing do them. Elon Musk does not take care of his dad because he believes his dad was violent towards his mom. So he doesn't send his dad. Is he not the richest man in the world? Are you more blessed than Elon Musk? You will send your papa your salary. Are you more blessed than Elon Musk? So there's nothing wrong with taking care of your parents, but remember, life is ups and downs. You don't want to create a system for yourself where if you are stuck financially, you have a liability that you created. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine wanted to pursue his PhD. His parents did not want him to pursue his PhD because they knew he was not going to be able to send them money. And he told me, he said his parents have been discouraged. I said, you must be a lunatic. Will you get up and go and do your PhD? If they cannot eat for 2 years, where you go do your PhD? May they go find work. How you hang your dreams because your parents cannot eat? I don't understand. They should go and look for work. People find work in old age. They should go and look for work. There is work available for old people. Many people do not marry when they are supposed to marry, do not pursue their dreams, sometimes hold on to invest because, and guess what? It is not like your parents are dying of hunger. They want to do their village party. They want to show. Oh Lord, God, nobody let anybody use my money take show. If you are hungry, I'll feed you. If you have problems with your shelter, I'll feed you. If you are nice to me, I can even, you want to show up, I will give you. But not that you think is your entitlement to use my money to go and show. No. You need to set boundaries there. The reason why Nigeria is the way it is because our parents were wasteful. They wasted resources. They made poor financial decisions. Poor financial decisions. So I'm not in any way saying don't take care of your parents, but I'm saying, where do you draw the line? How do you want to go and do your PhD and you cannot do your PhD because your parents need you to take care of them? You sit down with them and say, okay, how much do you need to eat in a month? 20K. How much do you need for maintenance in a month? 30K. Inside this 50K, I have 15,000. That's what I can spare as I am. Let me tell you something, I went to, what's his name? Tunde T. Afe Babalola's son, Bablu, was in their set. His daughter, Abiodun, was in my set. They don't feed their father. As a matter of fact, if I go and see Are Afe Babalola, he will still dash me money as I hold today. Last time I went to see him, he dashed me 1 million naira. Say I can't greet him. Dash my wife 500,000, dash my son 200,000. So you cannot, what do you want to buy for Are Afe? But there's nothing you want to buy. Unless maybe there's a type of coffee that he likes, that you can only get it in Cameroon, then you order it for him from Cameroon. Those are the kind of things, but I want to be sending him allowance money. As in how? It's poverty mentality. I say it all the time. You see, Poverty mentality is divided into two: the poverty itself and the mentality. What is poverty? Poverty is not being able to solve food, clothing, and shelter issues. Not being able to solve your food, clothing. If you have food, clothing, and shelter issues, you have poverty. You are in poverty. That is, you are struggling to meet your food, shelter, and clothing needs. That's poverty. Poverty mentality is when the thoughts of food, clothing, and shelter dominate your life. That's poverty mentality. When you wake up in the morning and all you think about, you might be rich, but all you're thinking about is food, shelter, and clothing. You have the mentality of poverty. That is how to break it down very simply. So poverty in itself is when you don't have money. You can't solve food, clothing, and shelter. Poverty mentality is when the thoughts of food, clothing, and shelter are governing your world. When you see Wizkid going to buy 1.4 billion naira Ferrari, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, when people never chop, Baba, if you like, carry that 1.4 billion and distribute it for Nigerians. The next day they will come back to the state of hunger that they were in. Poverty mentality is when the thoughts of food, clothing, and shelter no longer dominate your mind. That's when you've escaped poverty mentality. There are people who are rich but have poverty mentality. What dominates their mind is food, clothing, and shelter. Which I go chop? How I go take? What am I going to eat in 10 years? Baba, fix your mind, fix your education, get your investments right. You'll be okay. No need to worry. Food, clothing, and shelter are the basic things you'll not worry about. I'll give you an example. Two friends both went to school in Paris. When they were done with uni, they both studied, I've forgotten what course, but they both studied the same course. Now, in America, the salary for someone who made that kind of money was about 150. That who studied that was about 150K. But in Paris, you're gonna earn 65K. But guess what? Rent is cheaper in Paris. Life is so much cheaper. Everything, and hospital is free. As in, at the end of the year, you're earning 65K, you can save 15K. In America, you earn 150K and you struggle to save that 15K. But you see, the one that was Nigerian out of them did not think of the pleasures and the relaxation. Guess what? Holiday in Paris now 8 weeks. The Nigerian man said, why do I need 8 weeks? I want to walk. Why? Because his mind is still governed by food, clothing, and shelter. The work days in Paris are so much shorter. Paris is a relaxed, chilled place. You have 8 weeks of holiday in a year. As in, if you sit down and hear the kind of life where they live for that place, Papa, na enjoyment. America, if you get 3 weeks holiday in a year, you'll be lucky. I don't know if I'm connecting. Now, when you have poverty mentality, you will want to go to where you can make more money instead of where you have a better quality of life, because you are thinking and worrying about food, clothing, and shelter, or food, clothing, and shelter. Someone say American at 10 days. So when you have poverty mentality, you're not thinking of holiday. You're not thinking of enjoying even though there's not much money, you have more to enjoy. Money does not mean enjoyment too. If you watch The Gods Must Be Crazy, that movie, The actor, the money they gave him, he never spent. He didn't know what to do with it because he was an aborigine. They didn't have any need for money. The need for money and the value of money is created by the system. In real life, money has no value, it's just paper. But society dictates its value. But in many parts of the world, you don't need money to get that value. But you see, when you have poverty mentality, you will go to the America and go and work that is going to buy you and make that extra money and save that extra money because of one house where you want to go build for village. You will come build the house, finish. They go there once a year or once in 2 years. Imagine. You are worried. Now, many of our parents have poverty mentality. All that dominates their brain is food, clothing, and shelter. They are not thinking of sending a rocket to Mars. They are not thinking of being innovative and creative and thinking outside the box. What bothers them is just food, clothing, and shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter. They are restricted in their mind. Let me tell you, right? Sit down, all of you that are listening to me right now. Close your eyes. Everybody, close your eyes. Think of a dragon. Everybody listening to me now. Close your eyes and think of a dragon. Are you thinking of a dragon? Now, you are sitting on the back of the dragon and the dragon is flying with you. Remember how Game of Thrones, that girl that used to sit at the back of the dragon. All right, you are flying at the back of the dragon. Now the dragon is taking you to the car park where your Ferrari is waiting for you. Imagine what I'm saying. Close your eyes, oh. Imagine what I'm saying. The dragon is dropping you off at the car park and you are driving your Ferrari to the marina where your yacht is parked. And your beautiful husband or wife and lovely children are waiting for you on deck so you can all have dinner together under the moonlight. Can you imagine it? Is there anybody who could not imagine what I just gave you? Is there any one of you who could not imagine what I gave you? That's the power of imagination. That's the power of imagination. When your mind is controlled by poverty mentality, food, clothing, and shelter, you lack the ability to imagine beyond food, clothing, and shelter. You trap your brain and you end up in the cycle of poverty. You might look like you are getting out of it, but you are coming back. You will get out here and come back there. You get out here and come back. You will continue in that cycle forever. Some of your parents cannot imagine anything. They cannot imagine private jet. They cannot imagine Rolls Royce. They cannot imagine living in an apartment in New York that costs $50 million overlooking this. They cannot imagine it. Their imagination has been locked. When you tell them what are you thinking about, it's always how to solve a food, clothing, and shelter crisis. And the problem is they now give you advice. So back to what I was saying. Let's come back. Your parents are very good at giving advice. But if you ask them, this advice you are giving me, did you employ it in your own life? You now have two branches. Yes. If yes, did it work? And if no, why are you telling me to do what you could not do? How do we get out of this poverty mindset? Imagination. Stop thinking. Put yourself in a scenario. Am I trying to make more money so I'll have more money, or am I trying to live a better quality of life? If your answer is make more money, then you are still in poverty mentality. Somebody say I should send my Aza. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let me lock my TikTok. 100-131-7326 Zenith Bank. 100-131-7326 Zenith Bank. Ifedai. I hope I got that right. I don't send them. Someone say I too like money. How a person say make I send my Aza. I send them. Zenith they work now. Somebody has it. Thank you very much. Pop my money gun if you're watching on TikTok. Yeah, pop my money guns. Thank you for reminding me. Escaping from poverty mentality is very easy. It just requires you to think of a better quality life than making more money or amassing more money. Let me give you an example. 100 million naira will buy you a house. Even in this Lekki, will buy you a house. There are houses in Banana Island that you pay 100 million, and after 1 year, your rent is due. 100 million is rent. Rent. You don't owe after 1 year, and people are living there and people are paying this. Not because of anything, because they want a better quality life. So, escaping from poverty mentality requires that food, clothing, and shelter no longer dominate your life, but instead you live a better quality life. That's the first thing, and that's what the Europeans do. They don't worry about sending money to the village to build village houses. They don't worry about the things that bother us because their societies work. You want to live in an area where your neighbors and friends, like my neighbor just bought table tennis. He say make we come dey play table tennis, me where they like sleep for morning. I don't dodge and dodge. I know say one of these days I no get choice. I got to go play table tennis with him. If you see the table tennis where this guy buy, world standard. So what am I saying at the end of the day is, yes, your parents should have influence over your life. But if your parents are not educated, or if your parents are sparingly educated, the level of influence they have on your life should be different from if your parents are greatly educated. If your parents are sheeple, you know what is sheeple? All these church people, any small thing, now to pray. Prayer is good to pray. It's not important, but it's good. The things you are supposed to do as a Christian that are important, they are 10. I've always said this. Prayer is not important. The day you figure that out, even in your walk with God, is not important. It's good to pray, but it's not important. There are things you need to do. Those are more important than prayer. But you see, when you have those parents that is from church to church, pastor to pastor, you have to limit the influence they have over your life. Make them not go put you inside the same problem with they did. So, love your parents. Take care of them. But how do you set boundaries? This is the question I want to ask you all. How do you set boundaries? Okay. Do you know there are people whose parents can just show up at their house at any time? That's wrong. If your spouse doesn't complain, it is wrong. You as a person need to put, if your parents want to visit you, they should be able to at least call, give you advice. So, okay, let me imagine now. Imagine I want to take my wife somewhere and I've not budgeted. You know, everything for this life in a budget. Just imagine, say, I want to take my wife and my kids to a hotel, and I have 2 kids or 3 kids, and my kids sometimes will stay in one hotel room, 3 of them, and me, I'll stay in my suite with my wife. And then a parent decides to show up without informing us that they are coming. Am I going to rent an extra room? Or am I going to put them with my children to share room? Do you understand? It is, we don't see it as a bad thing, but you need to, your parents don't control your life. They cannot just show up anyhow. People, your parents used to do that thing. It is not fair on you, and it is not fair on your spouse. Sometimes your spouse will not complain, no problem. Let them come. But it puts them in a tight spot because they can't say no. Somebody say, when money day, you can compromise. Let me mess with you. I'll tell you a story. I went for Afe Babalola's son's wedding in Abuja. I normally stay at Nikon Hilton. I tried to book 2 weeks before. I couldn't get a room. The cheapest room in Nikon is about 400K a night. I couldn't get a room. Because if I had booked a month prior, I wasn't sure I was going for the wedding. That's why I didn't book a month prior. So now, let's imagine that, not even their presidential suites, because I stay in their presidential suites sometimes. If I'd seen presidential suite, I would have stayed. Before then, the last time I stayed there, I stayed in presidential suite. All the rooms were booked, everything taken. So imagine, there are some things that your money cannot do. Even if you are $10, all the rooms are taken. Are you going to drive somebody out of their room? You've booked 2 rooms. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Think about it. So some say, when money day, you see, that's the thing. You don't understand that money has very little value. You get where you go reach. Like Ferrari now. You go to Ferrari, if you have all the money in the world, they will not sell you their car if they don't know you. It's like Rolex. If you like have all the money in the world. See, a year ago, in November last year, me and Taste Buds went with Fola Itankoka to the Rolex shop. We placed an order for a Rolex. Normal, date just, stainless steel and gold. Till today, they've not called us. Till today, they have not called us that your watch is going to arrive. Then we write our name down. They gave us champagne. We drank the champagne, finished. They've not called us till today. Do you know what? You see, when you understand, when you, poverty mentality thinks, the first thing you think is money can solve all problems. Now, when you get money, you will realize is money, there are certain problems money cannot solve. You will have money in your hand. See, Kim Kardashian get money, Abi no get. Justin Bieber get money, Abi no get. 50 Cent get money, Abi no get. All these people were banned from buying Ferrari. What did they do? Kim Kardashian repainted a Ferrari. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather bought a Ferrari and sold it before a year. As if you buy Ferrari, you're not allowed to sell it before 1 year. They banned him for life. You can never buy Ferrari. If he wants to buy Tokumbo. No dealership if we sell Ferrari to. As Floyd Mayweather get money rich. As Kim Kardashian get money rich. As Justin Bieber get money. What did 50 Cent do? 50 Cent's Ferrari broke down. He posted it on social media. Finish. Said, let me the next sell a motor again, ever. That's the end. This guy, billionaire, what's his name? Philip Plain. Philip Plain launched his shoe, put it on his Ferrari. and advertise the shoe. Ferrari wrote letter to him. They say, may he take a nonsense shoe, come out their motor. He don't buy the car. Na him motor. They say, lie. He thought it was a joke. Ferrari carry him go court. Ferrari win. They say make him pay Ferrari $150,000 and make he go delete all those pictures where he use their motor. Papa, you don't know anything. No. Now poor man thinks say money get value. Philip Plain, billionaire couture. They tell us make he pay Ferrari $150,000. They make you go delete all those pictures for social media where he use their motor. Say they not give him approval to use their motor to sell shoe. Meanwhile, you don't buy the motor now. It's like now I want to use my Benz to sell my product. I can't put my product on top of the Benz. No be me get the Benz. Ferrari say no. Say na motor they say give you, they no sell them their logo. Now when you go realize say the branding and the car are two different things. Papa won't run mad. When they were taking him to court, I was telling people that this guy will lose. Go and read all this on the, when they were taking, because I was following the case. He lost and they told him to pay damages to Ferrari on top motor where him buy. So when you have poverty mentality, you think that money is Baba. Let me tell you about a watch called FP John. If you want to buy FP John, if you like be Bill Gates, if you like be Mark Zuckerberg actually wears a lot of FP John. Just Google Mark Zuckerberg watches, you see him. Stainless steel, $100 and something thousand. Baba, FP John, you go write essay of why you want to wear the watch. Then they will read your essay and consider whether they should sell you the watch. Papa, you think Ferrari and Rolex? FP John is on another level. They will think you will write essay on top your money. You will write essay. They will now sit down and consider you over 2 months. Think about it, discuss it. Should we sell this guy our watch? Some of the people will say no. Some people say yes. Eventually, I agree, okay, he's a nice guy. Let's sell him one. Then they will come write you back. Say, okay, you've been approved to come and pick. They will come give you the watch where you feel buy. Nobody you go pick the watch where you want buy. They will say you can buy that one. But that's not the one I want. Okay, thank you very much. Give us our watch back. Thank you. Please, I will manage it. As in, Papa, when you enter a certain level, that's when you realize the limitations of. There are some clubs you cannot enter, no matter how rich you are, unless somebody in the club invites you. On top your money, you know the problem is una no get money, so una no understand. Now when you get them, you go to. I sent a video around to like 10 people. It happened to my friend. He walked into Ferrari and said he wanted to buy the latest F8 that year. They tell him, say, lie, say he's a first customer and they can never sell F8 to first customer. Instead, he should buy Portofino or Roma. Those are the entry level. So he ordered Roma. It took about a year for the Roma to come. Now, when the Roma comes, they say, when Roma came, they say he cannot sell it for another 1 year. So he has to drive it for 1 year. I think he went for Portofino. He has to drive it for 1 year. After driving it for 1 year, he can now come and get the one he wanted. So this guy drove this car for 365 days. The day he clocked 1 year, carry the motor, go back, go meet Ferrari, say, okay, time for my F8. The guy said no. The people said no problem. They spec'd the F8 for him. When an easy delivery, they gave him 2024 this year. This thing I'm talking about happened in 2021. So my guy said, why is it that long? They took him outside. They pointed. They said, can you see there? That's Lamborghini. Go there. You can get a car in 6 months. Can you see across the road? That's McLaren. You can get a car even maybe in 4 months. Safe. Ferrari, this is how long it takes. Do you know that Baba buy that Ferrari? He puts the, waiting they call him, the payment down, did the down payment for it, and strolled to Lamborghini and went to buy Euros. Look at the hair story. Then, by the time the F8 was released to him this year, F8 don't get new model 296. So his car was coming to him brand new as old model. He can't go back, say, say, he won't buy 296. Say, after he drive this one for a while, he wants to trade it in for a 296, let him spec it. Now they tell us, say, lie, you said, enough, he sell 296. So I say, wait till happen again. He's saying, go buy Lamborghini. Papa went mad. They tell us, say, they found out that he owns a Lamborghini and they don't sell Ferrari to people that buy Lamborghini. Say, as they don't buy Lamborghini, maybe they follow them, they go. It's me no vex. Say, they don't already spec this F8. Now why they sell Antoram? Say, normally they're supposed to cancel in order self. But because they see, say, be their customer before. The guy, they look them like this. Ask this thing where they tell you, ask anybody. If Ferrari finds out that you're a Lamborghini customer, they don't sell you their motor again. So those people will get Ferrari and Lamborghini. They buy the Lamborghini in their wife's name and the Ferrari in their name. If Ferrari finds out that you have a Lamborghini in your name, they will not sell you Ferrari. Now, you will have the same madness in Rolex. You have the same madness in Patek Philippe. You have the same madness in Audemars Piguet. You have the same madness in, what's this other people called? FP Journe. This craziness. I'm on the, I wish I could show you my chart. Miss Elaine, I've been on the Rolex stainless steel Daytona queue for 3 years. They don't even answer me again. On top of my money. 3 years. I'm begging them to sell me a watch for 3 years. You now think because you have small money, your money fit. 3 years, I'm still there. I went into their shop in the UK. I said, man, I want a stainless. The guy looked at me like I was mad. I said, can I get a stainless steel Daytona? The guy looked at me like, I said, bro, that's 7 years on the wait list, if you're lucky. I said, the guy looked at me like I was I said, wait till you chop, you enter shop, say you won't buy stainless steel Daytona. You mad? How? There's a 7-year stainless steel watch. It's not gold, though. It's not platinum. Stainless steel. So, when you start making money, you will now realize the limitations of your own money. And when money stops, your network, your class will go. But because we in our food, clothes, shelter, and we they think, we don't realize how important and valuable other parts of our lives that cannot be monetized are. Poor man go say vanity upon vanity. That's why he's poor. The Solomon that wrote Vanity on Vanity, was he a poor man? The Solomon that wrote that Vanity upon Vanity, was he poor? So I end here. I'm going to bring 1 or 2 people up, or maybe I should just end and go to bed. Anybody that has any question, because I'm already tired, sharp. If anybody wants to make any comment or ask any questions. Titi Obama, how are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Fine. I have my glasses up. My glasses. Hi.
That's a nice watch you're wearing. Let me see it. That's a Rolex Date Just. Is that a Rolex?
Yes.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
You said it all. You said it all, for real, because I want to talk about the parents and the boundaries. You know, me and Igbo, so I will tell the truth. Igbo parents, they have this mentality. I'm talking from both sides, even from the male side and the female side. They have that mentality of like, oh, um, your, it's my son's house. I can pop in. They just pop in. I didn't have that problem though because we were staying out of the country. But I had my friends and other people that had that problem. Their family just show up without even telling them they are coming. Sometimes when you're in your family house, you plan your meals and somebody just come. Then you have to go back to the kitchen and all that stuff.
And it's not like they will come and if you give them bread and butter, they will eat and be quiet. They will tell you it is banga they want to eat.
Exactly. So me personally, I don't like that part of people coming into your house. They tell you how they want your house to be run, and yeah, I didn't have that opportunity. But if I did, by now I'll be divorced because I won't take it. No, I will not. I wouldn't. I will not. So it's uncalled for. I will do the same thing I'll do to your parents. I'm gonna do to my parents. I'm not gonna say, oh, because it's my parents, I will not do it to your parents. No. It goes both ways. Even to my siblings. So we should all learn to have the boundaries. Like, knowing that yes, family is very important, but at the same time, we should have boundaries. It's very important. You don't just like sometimes you cook for only you and your family, and I just say, oh, let's manage this thing tonight. Tomorrow we'll cook, and somebody just shows up, and you say, oh, I can only offer you this, and they say, oh, I want that, or I want the same thing you want to eat. You're not on schedule. You're not in the plan. So, bro, stuff like that. That's my take on it. Because thank God, child, I didn't have that problem. But
somebody said, so because I married you, my mom will bow to you before coming to my own house. Shey they see them.
I'm not saying your mom not bow to me. I don't need your mom to bow to me. I'm just saying that let us know you're coming. Let's accommodate you better. Not that you just show up for no reason. You just show up. And let us know how. I mean, common respect. Show up. See, people are saying I'm not good. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, but why can't you just show up in somebody's house without letting the person know?
Somebody say your husband is watching before uncle.
I don't even care. I don't care. This is the truth. I don't care.
Baba, you go marry Gen Z or a Broderian with that kind of mentality, Henry. Whoa, you go tire you.
I don't care.
They go drive you and your mama come out for middle of night when I go sleep inside snow.
I need to know why. Okay, what are you coming for? Okay, what's the problem? Is there anything that we need to know? Maybe the problem is something we can even solve without them coming. Now they have to waste transportation and all that. They don't need all that. Your child is grown. Let them be grown.
Thank you.
Let them be grown. This applies to me too. I cannot just show up in my son gets older and has a family. I'll just be batching into them. No, I'll let them know. Oh, I'll be at your house. So. And I expect them if they're coming to my house, you do the same thing. Let me know. What if you come and I'm out of town? Yeah, then what are you gonna do? But then Nigerians now they will say, oh, respect your.
Sexy Henry, I sent you. Come and talk this thing where they type with vengeance. Come and talk it one-on-one. You they type them. Come talk.
Oh my, they're always doing things that don't make no sense.
I agree. I sympathize with our parents, and I understand that yes, we need to love and honor our parents, but sometimes our parents do not know how far they stretch that word honor.
They don't, and they don't even care. The thing is, I want to come to my house, no problem. I don't have a problem you coming to my house, but let me know you're coming. What if you come, I'm not there? Come now, I know their house. Then you say, oh, she's a bad person. She knew I was coming. She didn't show up. I'm not saying parents should not come, or you should not get me wrong. What I'm saying is, let us know you're coming so we can accommodate you better. That's all. So if it's something we need to solve, we can solve it from wherever you are. Yeah. Like me and my husband were building a house right now, and then I don't want to build like a 10-bedroom for what? I told him the max is 4. That's it. I don't care, because when you start building all these big houses, that's when all the whole family want to come and live in your house. I don't want that. I could be sounding mean, but that's the reality.
Hmm.
I don't I don't I don't care. You know, the thing with people that say, "Oh, your sister-in-law," this is for those that you don't have a job, or you don't have an income for yourself. That's when you start caring about what. Stand for yourself. Stand for yourself. Everybody should stand for themselves. Be able to hold on to your own. I mean, your own. So if anybody tries to tell you any kind of bullshit, they will open their mouth. They will know how to shape their mouth and talk to you. Yeah.
Most people say you are rude to your parents. It's not nice. It's not this. It's not that.
I'm not, even to my own parents. Don't come to my house without telling me. It's not good. I don't know, people are not seeing it from that perspective. That, okay, what if I'm out of town? And then one neighbor will go to them in the house, and then in the middle of the night, they cut their organ. You know? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm hurting people, but the reality...
No, you are not. It's the reality. And they need to be able to deal with this reality, because they know they like hear word.
When it comes to family, I'll suggest everybody do the way they want. My own thing is, anybody...
Someone say I should tell her to shut up. Why should I tell her to shut up? Is she lying? She's making sense. But people don't like to hear that.
They don't. These are typical... I'm sure most of them are Igbo people. I'm Igbo. Yeah, but don't come to my house without letting me know you're coming, period. I don't care who you are. There's phones. Call me on the phone. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, Mama, okay, no problem. You can come. We are home. Or, I wouldn't even come to your house without not telling you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm hurting people, but... So
you
I'm
are
saying
not. The truth is bitter. Truth is a bitter pill.
It's the truth, and it's bitter, but it's the truth. It's hard, bitter truth. I know a lot of you most of you are the culture, I guess. So until you all understand that part, too bad. I don't have that problem, but if I do, I don't know where it would have taken me to, but hey, I'm not hurt anybody, but that's the truth. Don't go to your family. Don't go to your parents' house without letting them know you're coming. Let them not come to your house without letting you know they're coming. Either way, we need to respect each other's boundaries. Don't just show up in people's house because they are your family. Even my brothers know to call me at a certain time. They know the time to call me. If they call me anything out of that time, it's either an emergency or you're getting blocked.
Yeah, I call my sister Sha. I call my sister at odd hours.
You know the time difference. Call when the time is right. Why are you calling me when you know I'll be sleeping? You already know the time difference. If it's an emergency, I can understand that. Then I'll know it's an emergency. But if it's not an emergency, are you serious? Yeah, what's the need? Okay,
someone said, what if your parents' house is next to your house? God forbid. Why should your parents' house be next to your house?
That's a choice. Some people do it here in America because they need help from their parents. That one is a choice.
Can you do it?
No, I wouldn't.
That interference would be too much.
Yeah.
Some people are saying anti-rest. I told my son I was coming to visit, and he said I should, and he said don't come. Very good.
Yeah. And sometimes some people can be financially down. They're just like squeezing, managing. So somebody said you're so pretty to be saying this. Oh well, too bad. I'm sorry. I guess I stepped on toes, but hey, too bad for you. It's not Akata mindset. It's for real. People should face the reality. The reality is, you people, everybody needs to create boundaries, even for your family, your children, everybody. You should
Are
have
you a nurse?
some
Some
time for
people are saying you are a
yourself.
nurse.
Does it matter? It doesn't make any difference.
No, but let me ask you, are you a nurse?
I'm a nurse, yes. I don't think professional has your professional
Somebody
has
saying
anything.
ride on. Biola, I know saying that this kind of stubborn matter she go like.
So I'm not Americanized, so stop saying Americanized anything. Yeah, sorry.
Anyway,
Step on
Chichi Obama, thank you very much. I appreciate you. This is the
No
truth. Don't be rude to your parents. Nobody's encouraging you to
Nobody's
be
being
rude to your
rude. People-
parents, but let your parents. You see, the Bible says, parents don't aggravate your children. We don't read that part of the Bible. We only read the part that we like. Do not aggravate your children. Don't put your children under undue stress. The same children that want to be dashing you money now want to go to the house and be eating their food. When, of course, I want to see my mom. I want to see my dad. If my dad wants to come over, I want to see him. But I don't want to wake up one day and see Ken knock on my door and it's my dad or my mom. Anyway, I trust my mom.
Exactly. You know, I think another thing is when your mom, they rely so much on you. Like me, I didn't grow up in I always say it's, I worked my way where I am. I wasn't ever a silver spoon, but you have to let them retrain their brain. Let them know. I'm sure if you talk to them nicely, I'm sure they will understand. If they love you well enough, they will understand that. Don't up in my house like that. Let me know, because things happen. People can be a little bit, down financially. They're just managing food, and then somebody comes and then messes up the whole thing. And maybe something you're trying to hide. You don't want anybody to know you don't have enough money to eat or enough money to do things needed to do.
Well, Chichi Obama, you are right. I'm with you on this one. Make I go sleep. I don't stay here for 1 hour plus. Love you, sis. Don't mind them. They don't know what's in they talk. God bless you. Lovely conversation, guys. See y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Yeah.